Please welcome back the Scottish Falsetto Sock Puppet Theatre.
You're hoping that's going to catch on. I'm hoping that's going to catch on, everybody. Hashtag and so am I. And I think we should get lots of retweets. Should we? Yes, because apparently somebody's already using it, so that will help. Yep, that's how it works. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for superheroes. What's your favourite superhero?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, excellent. Do you know, she may or may not be featuring in tonight's show. We're just going to have to see. We're just going to have to see. Anything is possible in tonight's show. Because we know lots about superheroes. Well, I know lots about superheroes. I'm not sure that's the case for everybody in the room. Oh, come on. I just met Batman's alter ego, Bruce Wayne? No, he's a bloke in his 30s. Well, I just saw his sidekick taking something out of the Batcave. Robin? No, I should imagine he had permission. I've just met that superhero in the red costume who runs at incredible speed. Flash? No, I just shook his hand. Well, normally at this stage of the show we'd begin by sucking up to the locals. Would that be sponsored by love? It's sponsored by love, obviously, but I don't think a Bath crowd's going to be impressed by that kind of thing. Are they not? No, because they are cosmopolitan. Are you not? Yeah. What? Are they the sort of ice cream that originally came from Naples? No. That's Neapolitan. So what, do you mean the movement in Western art that drew on cultures of ancient Greece and Rome? That's neoclassical. So, do you mean the disgraced Tory MP implicated in the cash for questions scandal? That's Neil Hamilton. Sorry, do you mean the Radio 1 DJ from the 1970s, known as Diddy? One for the kids. That's David Hamilton. David Hamilton. Sorry, do you mean the Scottish football team known as the Ackies? That's Hamilton Academical. Bloody hell. Sorry, do you mean what you'd get if you crossed 2015's biggest ever Tony Award-winning Broadway musical with the clarinet player famous for the song Stranger on the Shore? That's Hamilton Ackerbilk. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, do you mean what you'd get if you took the singer of the 1991 #1 hit single "You Can't Touch This" and Black Lace's novelty hit from 1984 and a TV show starring Phil Silvers? No, I'm not playing this anymore. They're ahead of you. If you're not ahead of him, don't strain your brain trying to work it out. It's not worth it. That routine, which, by the way, we have done every year, 10 years we've been doing this. This is our 10th brand new show. Every year we do a variation on that routine. It's passé. What do you mean an affectionate name for a cat? I'm not playing. We've got to move on. What do you mean the 1964 hit for the Rolling Stones? I told you! Which nobody remembers. Nobody remembers that one! I have had it with that routine. It's last year's thing. What do you mean the second album by Elvis Costello? That's this year's model. I get in. Our new show, ladies and gentlemen, our new show, which we will begin, is entitled Superheroes. And you're going to have to trust me as being the authority on superheroes. I know tons, do you really? I just met Ang Lee. Yeah, you know, he directed the first rather unpopular Hulk film. And when you talk about it, you have to pretend he's someone else. Why? You wouldn't like him when he's Ang Lee. I once met the creator of Batman. Did you? Yeah, somebody came. Bob. I once met the creator of Batman. We're going to begin. Honestly, we are going to do superheroes, I promise you. And I tell you what, in order to do this, we've got to do something big props. You've seen some of our props tonight, but ladies and gentlemen, in order to present the world of superheroes, we need to use a state-of-the-art technique. Same capital as earlier. It's the same capital. That's appreciation. Most techniques, well, many techniques are used in film today. There's CGI where, shut it. There's green screen, there's computer modelling, but no technique is more impressive than the one we're about to demonstrate. Go and get the kid. You mean like the, yeah, like I told you earlier, go get it. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you sure that was what you meant? Well, yes, of course. Go on, go get it. This technique, you'll be familiar with. This technique, you'll have seen this in the work of Andy Serkis in films like, are you absolutely, yes, go and get it! The work of Andy Serkis, things like Lord of the Rings and King Kong, he used to use this technique. Oh, I'll just get my kit on. There you go. That's right. We're going to demonstrate the technique of motion capture. What happens is these small sensors all over my suit record my movements. Why? What the hell are you doing? Motion capture. It's not how you captured one already. Put that! Can you hold it? No, bloody cannot hold it! Put it away! I'm trying to demonstrate there's a bloke down there with a jobby on his head. Forget the bloke! There's a jobby on his head! I'm trying to demonstrate that you see Andy Serkis gets paid to do this. Andy Serkis does it slightly differently. The funny thing is we haven't got a dog. Would you? This is a technique. This is a very clever technique where you can create a character that doesn't even exist. I'm going to warn. I'm going to use this motion capture kit before the end of the show. If it kills me. Can I remind you, this superhero idea was yours? Yeah. We could be a bit more excited. I mean, bloody superheroes. Superheroes. I mean, he's the big fan of the superheroes. I love the films. What's your favourite film? I bet I've seen it. Your favourite superhero film? Go on. Thor! Yeah, I've seen that. Is that it? Is that not how it works? Well, there's not a lot of mileage in saying you've seen a film. Oh, you could review it. Okay. Thor. It's not bad. So I'm telling you, we might as well have done bloody nursery rhymes. Oh, I love a nursery rhyme. Cock Robin? Oh, it's just the way I'm standing. So the thing with your nursery rhymes and your kids' stories, they're like superhero stories with one big difference. What nursery rhymes are shit? They're not. I'll prove it. Let's have a look at Hans. Oh, I think they're doing that already. No. Hans Christian Andersen. Take The Ugly Duckling. See that? That's Spider-Man. It is not Spider-Man. It is. Listen, I'll tell you. You mean Spider-Man. There once was a Peter Parker with acne all over his face. And the other kids, you know what they did? They said, quack, get out of this place. Quack, get out, quack, quack, get out, quack, quack, get out of this place. So he went with a quack to the lab at the back and his personal study space. In the laboratory, he hid himself away. Because half the kids thought he was nerdy and the other half thought he was gay. Till one day on a science trip to a nuclear installation, a radioactive spider bit him there, ow, and suddenly he'd become a super-powered Spider-Man. He wasn't just a Peter Parker with spots and a pair of specs. He could shoot with balls and crawl up the walls in quack, a tight pair of kegs. Quack, tight pair, quack, quack, a tight pair, quack, quack, a tight pair of kegs. No more nerd, no more geek, no more isolated freak. Now you figure how he'd like her, he could get it twice a week. A superhero as proud as they come. But when they put him in a Broadway musical, he bombed. Thank you very much, thank you. See, superheroes are better than nursery rhymes because they're based on science. Could you just help me off with this costume, by the way? I'm going to use this motion capture kit before the end of the show. It kills me. Okay, I shall look forward to that. You should bloody look forward to it. but trying to impress them with the wonders of technology and science. I know tons about science. I once studied the English scientist who discovered the principles underlying electromagnetic induction. Faraday? No, I studied him for weeks. Well, if you're interested, I could tell you some things about the chemical with the symbol B and the atomic number 5. No, that's boring. See, I used to like that scientist who did a program called Cosmos. Carl Sagan. I used to like that scientist who did Carl. See, superheroes are great because they're full of science. They're just like kid stories. Wash your mouth there with soap and water! Actually, I think you needed to do that after the motion capture. Good point. Sorry, just get you in the front row. And put the motion capture further away, would you? And open a window. Honestly, mean the very things you think of doing, the bloody ideas you have. Now just take this seriously. You would please do it. Go up and cover first. Go up and cover first. Okay. Because it was my idea to do superheroes, but we have to leave it to him to write the show. By the way, you would tell me if a strange person were to appear behind me on the stage, wouldn't you? You would mention that.
Behind you!
What are you talking about? You nonsense. So, because he was the thing that...
Behind you!
I don't know what you're talking about. Have you been to see pantomimes or something? It's not that kind of a show. So, hello, the idea with the... Hello, who are you? Hello, do what? Leave it out, apples and pears. Who am I? Well, I'm only your brother, who you've not seen for 20 years since we were tragically separated as kids. I don't remember you ever existing. We've never mentioned you before. That will be the trauma of separation. Is that what stops your mouth opening and closing? Maybe if you were to give me a familial kiss. Oh, thank you very much. That really does help. Yes, I was separated from you many years ago. I was separated from you many years ago, and I was raised, as you probably tell, in another part of the country. Yeah. What part of the country was it that you were raised in? Do what? Leave it out, knock on the head, apples and pears, Danny Dyer, Chaz and Dave, things up on the ground, up the old Kent Road, Del Boy, Pearly King, Albert Square, know what I mean? Swansea. It is good to see you again, long lost brother, who I've never seen before. So I'm wondering if you... When I escaped from prison, I had a face transplant. So I'm wondering... That move brought to you by Love Honey. I was wondering if you could help. Just have to go with it. Okay. I was wondering if you could help me with The thing is that I'm a bit Jurassic. Yeah, you know, Jurassic Park, dark and curly, early to rise, wise old owl, professional foul, foulest stench, Judi Dench, QI, quite interesting, Steve Davis, rhymed with Mavis and Horace Boris, rhymed with Doris Stokes, broke. Why would you just not say Boracic? It's not a word. So, I wondered if you might employ me, because you said you'd be doing all right. Can I join your comedy act? Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's infectious, isn't it? It does kind of catch on a bit. The thing is that there's already two of us, and I've seen you. You're the talented one. You know that. The other one, you're carrying him. I mean, does he ever get a laugh? Indirectly, he seems to be getting quite a few at the moment. So, what do you say? Can I join your act? You'd be doing me a real cheese and onion crisp. Cheese and onion crisp. Yeah, you know, cheese and onion crisp, lisp and stutter, fluttering eyes, porky pies, pie with a crust, investment trust, trust in God, rod laver, favour. Why did you just not say cheese quiver? I don't like cheese just coins. Have a word, be lucky. Well, what do you think? Should I let my brother join the act? What are you saying? I was just thinking, could we let my brother join the act? Your brother, who after 10 years of doing the show you've never mentioned once before. If it's good enough for EastEnders, fair enough. But see, the thing is, my brother's back in town and he's been trying to get in touch. Well, don't ring him back, for God's sake. Why not? Why not? Because your brother is racist. It's not, is he? He's not racist. Who did stars in their eyes, blacktop as Jay-Z? Who calls the corner shop a word beginning with P? Who does Chris Rock's N-word routine unironically? Your racist brother. Who gave the Oscar gift offhand? Who's in support of a headscarf ban? Whose favourite comedian was Bernard Mann in? Your racist brother. Your brother says it was not he we saw at an EDL rally advocating white supremacy. Your brother's racist. Who sends posts from Britain first? Who says Hitler wasn't the worst? Who thinks Trump's Muslim ban is fair and just? Your racist brother. Your brother said it was not Bin Laden who bombed the Twin Towers on 9/11. Your brother said it was the Jews. My brother's racist. Yes. So who from your family are we going to spurn? To whom our backs are we going to turn? Whose call are you not going to return? My racist brother. And another thing, yeah, he's famously shit at Cockney rhyming slang. I've noticed that. Here, what do you have in your hand? A burning cross? I just thought, you know, a third hand might be useful. Do you not see the problem inherent in that suggestion? I hadn't thought it through. Ignore your brother, it's for the best. Hey, I tell you my favourite element. Your favourite element? Yeah, my favourite element is the one that has Japanese comic books on its lap. What favourite element has got Japanese manganese? Right. Now, in anticipation of you leaving, because you haven't actually had any bloody superheroes yet, we're going to tackle the most famous superhero of all time. What do you think when I say dinner, 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 dinner? Dinner. Dinner, 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 dinner Ken. Batman, do Batman! Did not get that. Ah, yes. I'll just go get the prop. Okay, so... Oh, hello, who is you? Hello, hi. I'm Batman. Are you small or just far away? I'm up on a rooftop, aren't I? Listen, this was your idea, pal. Take it seriously. Could you want a hand with getting your props on? Can I get it? Good. Come on. Bloody take this seriously. We can do this properly. I've got mine. If you get yours ready, they're going to be absolutely fantastic. So... Oh, here I am, protecting Gotham City from all the bad guys. Oh no, it is my arch enemy, the Joker. I said it is my arch enemy, the Joker. Come on up, Joker. So, Joker, what is your evil demand? Are you saying you've kidnapped Robin and attached him to some device like a giant cake or a big toaster or something? You're going to dangle him over some piranhas? What is your problem? You're not supposed to wind them up. You're winding me up. I'm only going to take this seriously. You take it seriously. To get rid of the bloody teeth. Oh God, it's gone in the jobby. I told you to move the jobby. Oh, bloody hell! Okay, well, obviously we can't do Batman then. Okay, right, I tell you, if you want to do real superheroes, let's do the first Avenger. Oh, you mean Ian Hendry? The first Avenger is Captain America. You cannot tell me anything about the Avengers. I can quote you chapter and book on the Avengers. Chapter and book, yeah. You just ask me, and I can tell you anything you want to know about Steve and Mrs. Mrs. Peel. You what? Yeah. They were the stars of the Avengers. You kept it going strong from 1965 to 68. Of course, when the show began, Steve was only a sidekick, and even Henry, he played the lead role. But he left, and he was replaced by a series of female assistants. So Steve and Kathy Gale, played by Honor Blackman, they were the stars of the Avengers. Were they? Yeah, they were. From series 2 in 1962 to 64. But it was Emma Peel, played by Diana Rigg, that made it big in the States. So then she was left and replaced by Tyra King at the end of 68. Steve and Mrs. Peel, the stars of the Avengers. Oh yeah! Thank you. Thank you very much. Wrong Avengers, and you know it. 3 minutes of our lives we won't get back. Trying to tackle real superheroes. Oh, okay, well there's a team of mutants who've been warped and twisted until they were spurned by ordinary people and have to fight in their own mutant way. Oh, I like this. Who do they fight then? Magneto? The Sentinels? No, these mutants have as their enemy the amassed forces of the European Union. Who are these EU fighting mutants? Jacob Rees-Mogg, Boris Johnson and Michael Gove. Together, they are the Brexmen. Hello, I am Professor Brex, Ian Duncan Smith. And even though I am clearly in a wheelchair and cannot walk, the Department of Work and Pensions has declared I am fit for work. So I have started a school for mutants. I don't care how hideously mutated you are. You're welcome here. Hello, I'm Michael Gove. Okay, back off. I'm drawing the line, you freak. I am the Brexman that they call Jacob Rees-Mogg. I have travelled from days of future past. Namely, Bath in the 19th century. You can call me Colossus, you can call me Cyclops, you can call me anything as long as it's Latin or Greek. Well, jolly hockey sticks, what ho, Jeeves! I am Boris Bojo, seducer of other men's wives. Or as they know me round here, the Nightcrawler. Don't stop this! You can't do this to the X-Men. I know, the X-Men are Scottish. No, they're not. Their costume is blue with a white cross. Scottish. Professor X, played by James McAvoy, pronounced Xavier. Who the hell else is going to pronounce Xavier, Xavier, except the Scots? Nightcrawler, Alan Cumming, Scottish. What's the beast's real name? Anybody? Hank McCoy, Scottish. Do you know what Iceman's real name is? Steve. Oh yeah, that's a famously Scottish name, isn't it? Steve. Yeah, we've trademarked the Steve. No, his name is Robert Louis Drake. It's not interesting, but it's true. Not funny, shut your face. Cyclops' real name, Scott Summers, Scott. Phoenix's real name, Jean Grey. She couldn't be more Scottish if she was running a girls' school on Morningside. X-Men are totally Scottish. I tell you, I know the most Scottish superhero of all, played by Hugh Jackman. Who is this most Scottish superhero of all? Wolverine. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, the Avengers are another famous Scottish team. They're not Scottish. Not Scottish! Let me tell you how Scottish the Avengers are. You hit the music and here we go. Son, the Hawk, what we do, and Ant-Man, Iron Man, and Hawkeye. Captain America, Thor, and Nick Fury, he's only got one eye. Get them on board the heli-carrier, it floats up in the sky. The agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are waiting to greet you, then we'll be Hawkeye. You talk to Iron Man, and I'll talk to Loki. And I'll talk to Captain America about how women don't get films of their own, so they have in 3D. You'll always get some in-jokes and a cameo by Stan Lee. Marvel Universe movies are all made by Disney, and they'll all have a scene at the end when you are going. There is a soldier, a winter soldier, we bring him into things, though he's not interesting. He is quite plucky, his name is Barky, and no one here has heard of him. There's a wee man here and his name is Bruce. He wouldn't say boo to a goose, making angry. He's as big as a goose, but the whole one split his trousers. Let the wind blow slow, let the wind blow fast. It won't blow up his incredible ass. His shirt and his socks, they may not last, but the whole won't rip his trousers. Sea crawls around like a rash on your bum with these Marvel franchises. If you don't like the last one, there's lots more to come, and also TV series. Punisher, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and the Inhumans, and the Defenders, and several more that we've missed. So, get ready for the Avengers, rated G. You'll be watching superheroes made by DC. The Wonder Woman is made by the less you see, 'cause you know that you can trust the Avengers. Happen. The villain in the Avengers Infinity War comes from Yorkshire, Thanos. It's at this point in the show, ladies and gentlemen, I feel beholden upon me to explain to you that this is work in progress. For a show that we haven't quite finished. We've written what we feel is a show, and you are now in the process of reminding us that we're wrong. So you're doing quite well. You're being incredibly patient, and thank you for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome a very special guest onto the stage? A special guest, yes, ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome all the way from the Fantastic Four? Hello. I am Mr. Fantastic, and so am I, no you're not. I am Reed Richards, off of the Fantastic Four. Or if you prefer, I am Mr. Fantastic, and I am the brown dirt cowboy, another one for the kids there, no you're not. Not in this. They call me Mr. Fantastic, call me Boombastic, call me on the back of the Get off, leave it to me. I am Mr. Fantastic, and I'd like to launch this appeal on behalf of the Fantastic Four. We are me, sexy Mr. Fantastic, my mate Ben Grimm, over there, just out of shot. He's the Thing, he's made out of big orange rocks. There's my other mate Johnny, over there, who catches fire. And my wife Sue, who's right here, rude. She's the Invisible Woman. And our comic, the Fantastic Four comic, has, as you probably know, been cancelled. So we would like to appeal, not on behalf of ourselves, we are after all fictional characters, no. We'd like to appeal on behalf of all of those people who give a toss. And we'd like to say to them, please, please stop. Stop asking for our comic to come back, please. Let us die. What do you want to die for? What do you think life is like for us? Ben is made of big orange rocks. All of him, yes, all of him. He's not had sex for 55 years. He can't even have a quick J. Arthur, it causes sparks. How do you think Johnny caught fire in the first place? Poor old Johnny's no better. He's made of flames, all of him, yes, all of him. I mean, he can turn them off until he gets excited. Let's just say a few people have had more than their fingers burnt. We're a laughing stock at Superhero Dogging Club. Sponsored by Love Honey, yes. They call us Rock, Cock and Two Smoking Bollocks. What about me and Sue? She's sodding invisible. If you ever think you've heard the words, what do you mean you can't find it? Imagine the fun we have. And I'm made of rubber. All of it. Yes, all of me. I don't know if the phrase thumbing in a soft one rings any bells for you. Trust me, it does round our parts, so please, on behalf of the Fantastic Four, put us out of our misery and let us die. Thank you. Thank you. That's quite good. Would you like a drink of water? Oh, that that's very kind of. I wouldn't mind a drink of water here at this particular moment myself. A drink of water is what I'd like. Would you like one yourself? I'll tell you one thing, right now, yeah, they've got no idea which one of us is talking. Good point. And he probably thought that previous routine was going to be a lot funnier than it was. So, hello. So, did you have a word about me? You're Australian now? No, I'm not Australian. Who won't leave it and knock it on the head? So, did you have a word about me being in the show? Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to fit in the show because you recently returned from holiday, wasn't it? Prison. Yeah, that's what I said. You were in prison for reasons best known to yourself. That's right. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more. Yeah. Least said, soonest mended. Hate crime. What? Nothing. So, can I do the show with you? It would absolutely make my Robin. Now, you know, Robin Redford, Bedford van, MRI scan, MRI, song for Guy, Elton John, Simon Le Bon, Duran Duran, MRI scan again, MRI scan, Michelin Man, man at C&A, day. My day. Why didn't you just say Robin D? You can't rhyme day with day, that's tautologist talk, silly. Oh, look, a bag of dog shit. Can I have that for posting through my neighbour's letterbox? No! Would that be a racist attack? Oh, I wouldn't say racist, no. Good. I'd say Islamophobic. Look, you're not having the dog shit! And you can't join the act. I'm happy doing the show with him. You know him. Well, I predict that you're going to fall out with him and then you're going to be begging to have me back. Blood is thicker than bricks. Oh, I get it. Bricks and water. No, blood is thicker than bricks. It's viscous. Bricks mostly air. Think it through. I'll be back. They can be quite threatening, these cockney racists, when they get riled up. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Here, what's this? Shoodly-bop-bop, scoobity-boobie, Schrodinger. Shoodly-bop-bop, skishky-bop-a-chishky-bop-a-boobity, Schrodinger. What was that? I don't know. Schrodinger scat. Right, I don't know quite how these science jokes are ever going to blend in with the show that's not about science. Oh, but I love science. Oh, I wish we'd done a bloody hour about science now. Do you know what? I love that American science presenter, someone deGrasse Tyson. Neil. I like that American science presenter. I'm warning you. We're going to do the original superhero. The original superhero. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you must know who was the very first superhero ever. Jesus. Now that's a nice sentiment, being as we are coming up to the anniversary of his death day, which is the thing that they celebrate. Not as big as his birthday. I've got to say his birthday is slightly bigger, nicer presents. Which is basically you've got eggs and rabbits, and fuck knows what the rabbits are for. Yeah, no, he doesn't really count as a superhero on account of how there's no really good comics with him in. And plus sequels thin on the ground. No, your original Superman is, of course. I mean, your original superhero is, of course. By accident, but you know what I'm talking about. It is, of course, Superman. The story of Superman. Is that what we're going to do? I've just got a costume in here. Okie dokie. So, hello, who are you, strange alien man? I am Superman's father, Jor-El. Oh, is it? Superman's dad's black? No. That's a pretty African-American name, Jor-El. Well, he's not African-American, is he? He's been played in the film by Russell Crowe and Marlon Brando. Whew, Noah and the Chinese bloke out of Tea House of the August Moon. No reason they wouldn't black up. Well, they didn't black up. I'm Jor-El, not black. And my planet is Krypton. It is threatened, so I must send my son off into space in a space rocket. Your son? Yes, my son, Kal-El. Also, Superman's black. No, he's not. We've got Jor-El and Kal-El. There's either going to be rappers or basketball players with names like that. What you've got there is cultural appropriation. Shut up! So baby Kal-El flies through the universe until he lands, slam dunk, stop that. He lands on planet Earth, and the effect of Earth's yellow sun makes him appear to be white. He is white. But now young Kal-El has the power of 10 men. He has super strength and can jump to incredible heights. Oh, come on, white man, can he jump? Oh, hang on. Look at this couple coming along the road. I am old Ma Kent, and I am old Pa Kent. And we live on the old Kent Road. I don't know, I can do the accent as well. You can, yes. We live in the deep south of America. Try that one, I'll give it a pass. Childless and old. We have found a baby in a crater with a space rocket. Yes, we have a bit of a choice. Do we take this baby in the space rocket to the appropriate authorities? I mean, you know, there's a space rocket, it could be an invasion or something. Or shall we simply raise the child as our own and say no more about it? Well, are we trying to give any sort of moral lead to our young, impressionable readers? Yeah? Just keep the kid and say nothing about it. We shall name this young child after the first thing we see when we get back to the farm. Oh look, there's a pig, oink oink. Yes, and there's a cow, moo moo. And there's a chicken, Clark Clark. So we shall name our child Moo Moo Kent Clark. We're calling him Clark. You don't think that sounds a little Caucasian, would you? And so it was that Clark Kent grows up and he becomes the character that we all become familiar with. Oh yes, of course, it is the costume. I'll put the costume down there, so isn't it the costume? That's the costume, it's not the costume, that's the costume. Yes, here he is, Clark Kent, the journalist at the Daily Bugle. Yeah. Oh, but the thing is that nobody recognised him because of his amazing disguise. Nobody recognises him because of his amazing... Here, come down here, come down here. Nobody recognises him because of his amazing disguise. Amazing disguise that he can't seem to put on by himself. It's a good idea if you have a wee bit of a hand, I think, at this moment. Oh, wait a minute! I thought Superman was around, but he's disappeared. Oh! Where did Superman go? Hello again, Superman. I'm not Superman. I am mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent, as any fool knows. A really good job of blending in. I'm not sure you are. Ever since I can remember, you've been working at this place. And we're also lots of Superman who recognise his face. You're a mild-mannered reporter here and no one else suspects, but can we see what you look like if you take off your specs? Blimey, Superman is you! Superman is you! It's not like I did this guy's in your stuff to think it's real. Superman is you! Superman is you! I use toilet cubicles that you can see through. I don't know why you're here or why you're not and how that thing with your glasses works. Except you're always really close to that. I'll go where you are when you're the real dead real Superman. I'll be your dead real Superman. Yes, I'm amazed it took you quite this long. I thought you would have guessed. When you saw this big letter on my 58-inch chest. How I keep dipping into 4 boxes, it cannot be denied. I usually come out of the toilets with my pants on the outside. That's right, Superman is me. Superman is me. A pair of bloody glasses have been hand wide, can you be? Superman is me. You've guessed it all wrong. If I put my glasses back on, you're like, hang on, where'd he go? I don't know how stupid you people are, and why I'm bother protecting you. All I know about is truth and justice. I'm also the American way. I don't know who you are, but I am Superman and I am gay. Sorry, what? I said, did I mention that? Yes, I am gay. Thank you very much. red pants outside my trousers, drawing particular attention to my groin. A look that a lot of people find attractive, none of whom is female, think it through. Superman, yes, Lois. I'd rather forgot that was Lois. I can't help noticing that everyone in this show is a bloke. Holy diversity, Lois! By the power of inclusivity, we must put this right. Hashtag me too. Hashtag and so am I. You're still labouring that one, I'm working on it. So look, here come two female superheroes, or to be more politically correct, super lassies. Hello, I am Harley Quinn, the work in progress. If it works out, I'll make the proper costume. And hello, I am Poison Ivy, and today we're going to be doing gardening. What do you mean? Poison Ivy is what I do. I was going to do cookery. Oh, because lassies do cookery. Oh, I see, and all lassies do the gardening now, do they? Well, we can't do both. Come down here, let's have a look at the script. Obviously going to do the body. Well, she cut you something down. Oh. I am Superman, the man of manure. Now you'll see that it's a cold day, so I've kept my cape on, which is a lovely little bird, a bit like wood pigeon, a bit like Lois Lane. You are my favourite hoe. I'm Superman. I defend the virtues of truth, mustard and the Pennine Way. Today, we're going to be enjoying the taste of speed, which comes in small pellets and is very Moorish. All you have to do is shovel it in with a great big spade and you'll soon have the most marvellous X-ray vision. Super breath and nuts small enough for birds to feed on. Now what do you think we have here in this bowl in front of us? Is it a bird? Is it a plane when the droppings are that big? It's definitely a bird. Have a look at this plant, it's been totally cricked on. Looks good, tastes good too. In my garden, up the fence, I do like to have a Jimmy Olsen. Every now and again you can treat yourself with a... And every now and again... and every now and again, you can treat yourself with a dump in the composting. Lois, you look lovely in that Fison's grow bag. Slit up the middle so the air can get to your fortress of solitude. As soon as I got your message, I came all over my begonias and into a mixing bowl. Because I am not afraid of any whisk. I am prepared to dice with Defra. I think Lex Luthor is a great big blender, for I have nerves of steel, sinews of stone, and a knob of butter. Well, you've made me a pair of Clark Kent glasses that are rubbish. You started doing gardening when my script says cookery, and may I remind you there's some joke teeth sticking out of a bag of jobby down there. Actually, that's the Michael Gove prop. Next to that, I'm making a mockery of this whole thing. I'm off. What? You finish the show yourself. Yeah? I will do, because if I just come down here and get my phone, which I've just left down here for no reason, because he's gone, he's totally gone. He's actually left the building. He's not here anymore. He's left the... Well, that prop's fucked. He's totally left the building at this particular point in the show, which clearly needs some material to cover it. And I'm wearing the wrong costume. He's left the building, but that doesn't bother me because I've got my invisible mobile phone here. Hello, is that my brother? Hello. Has he gone then? He's gone then. Can I join you? Yeah, you're on. I shall overlook your past. Thank you very much. So, now, we are going to do, for our finale, the year's biggest superhero movie, Black Panther. Wow. Is it? Did I mention that I am racist? You what? I'm racist. See, so no Black Panther. No, you can't do Black Panther when you're racist. What are the things at the top of our things of lists of things not to do? No black lightning. Definitely no black lightning. about Black Widow? Did I mention I'm also famously sexist? So no female superheroes, no Wonder Woman, no. Even though I know members of the audience wanted it. But frankly, she should stay behind the kitchen sink where she belongs. So no women, no heroes of colour. You don't have to call them that, you can call them... No, you can't! I mean, no, you can't! No need for language. How about the Captain America or Thor? Thor. That's how I say it, Thor. They are Aryan superheroes. Thor was invented by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Good English names. They're American and Jewish. Did I mention I'm racist? And anti-Semitic. I'm anti-Semitic. And I'm a cunt. If you're not doing Jewish characters, that's no classic Marvel superheroes, no Avengers, no X-Men, no Fantastic Four, no Hulk, no Iron Man. You can't have Batman or Superman, they're all Jewish. Well, what are we left with? You're left with Dennis the Menace and Archie comic. Gay and double gay, did I mention I could guess? Well, I'm not having it. You can stick this show up your Kyber. Kyber rhymes with cyber, Cybermen, Mr. Ben use it to Kyber Pass. Kyber, the rhyming slang for arse is Kyber Pass. Even though they don't rhyme, I don't know how that works, but just good bugger off. But no, fucking hell. No, it's so hard to go between accents. I mean, that's so hard to stop getting your accent infecting me. If I've learned anything from superhero comics, it's this. It was Spider-Man that taught me it's okay to be a spotty teenager and to accidentally cause the death of your Uncle Ben and your first love Gwen Stacy and Norman Osborn, and basically it's alright to be spotty and bring about people's deaths. It was Batman that taught me it's okay to be a multi-millionaire and spend all your money on weapons in a big cave and be a lawless vigilante. It was the Fantastic Four that taught me it's impossible to make a good film out of the Fantastic Four. Above all, superhero comics have taught me the power of a good team. Me and him, down there wherever it is. We're like the original X-Men, you know, with Iceman and the Angel. We're like the original Guardians of the Galaxy from 1968. We're like John Steed and Ian Hendry's Avengers, and I'm fully aware that we're the only people who get our reference. So, clear off. Have fun trying to make the music play without it. When I was wee, I never needed anybody. Making love was identical with anything. Those days are gone. Like this piano sounding. All by myself. as we are going to take on any villain that you suggest in the guise of the most famous superhero team of all, the Avengers. Who are you? I am Robert Downey Jr., multimillionaire penthouse playboy. But here I am in a war zone, yes, I'm here in a very dangerous, oh no, boom, I've been blown up. Oh no, there's a bit of shrap in my heartnell. What? I've got a bit of heartnell in my shrap. I got some shrap in my William Hartnell. Shrapnel in your heart, that's funny, so have I. Oh, what can I do to keep my heart beating out here when all there is in this place are a whole load of girders? I know I must use these girders and become Iron Brew Man. Maybe in Scotland, they were ahead of you. No longer shall I be an idle multimillionaire, fiesta, escort, razzle, playboy. Damn it, playboy! No, I shall join forces with all the other good guys and become a superhero. Well, I am also a superhero, but which superhero could I be? I was frozen in a big block of ice and then melted out. Frozen in a block of ice. That's right, I am the mighty Thor. How can you get laughs for that stuff? I just get it's all in the wrist action. I am Brew Man shall now doff you up for looking like a girl. I prithee thee, sithee, I say thee nay, thou shalt not, puny mortal. Why are you talking like a knobhead? For I am a god, I say thee forsooth, sithee bewazix and cow heels with tripe with a nose. Are you talking like that? That was Norse. It didn't sound like a Norse, it sounded like a knobhead. I warn thee, I shall smite thee with my hammer, Mjolnir. What was that? Mjolnir. Well, I'm here, I don't know about everybody else. Mjolnir is the name of my hammer. You've got a name for your hammer? Truly thou art a knobend. I shall smite thee. You do talk a lot of smite. Oh, hello, who is this? Hello. I'm Captain America. I'm Captain America. And do you wear pants? Not often, no. I'm just doing some test runs of products by Lovely. I'm Captain America and a fat tur. A fat, the war against tur. A fat tur. A fat tur. A fart tur. A fat tur. Pause occasionally to look in the mirror. Shoot the odd squirrel. Do we have any actual Americans in tonight? Okay, you're safe, carry on. So, we must unite. We must unite. Yeah, that's what I said. We must unite to fight our common enemy. And who would this common enemy be? Loki. And who would this common enemy be? Well, like normally we would fight Loki, but who do you, the audience, think that we, the Avengers, should now tackle with our Avengers power? Yes, you name the greatest villain that you can think of, and we shall tackle them with Avengers power.
Theresa May.
Theresa May! Theresa May, come over here. I cannot hit a lady, for I'm Captain America. Oh, well, who can we possibly get to defeat Theresa May? I shall be Theresa May. Hello, I am Theresa May. Oh no, it's the Incredible Hulk. The end, thank you. Patient. Thank you so much for being so patient with us. As we've explained, it's a work in progress show, so some things will be seen for the last time tonight, as you can probably guess. And now, we'd like to play you out with a song which is probably not going to be in this year's show, it's probably going to be in next year's show, because it's all about Christmas. It's beginning to smell